change. The fact that this pandemic has caused as many people as possible to work from home was no accident. It happened to give you the opportunity to see how repetitive and repressive your old life used to be. So when it comes to time to choose, will you choose to go back to that lifestyle that would have made you ill or cut your life short? Or will you choose to work from home or find a job where you can do that? You have something you never thought you had before, a choice. A choice about who you work for and where. Life that the life that kept you on the edge is solving itself. The old normal is currently reorganizing itself. It's happening now. This new normal, born from this sudden change, is happening faster than anyone could have previously imagined. Hold on to the merry-go-round ride as we all ride through this together. You guys know about that merry-go-round ride, right? The merry-go-round ride, I talk about it. It was that dream I had for the first 35 years of my life in my flagship book, Guided, chapter 1. It's what starts out the book. So you want to ride that merry-go-round ride. What it means is you want to do this. You don't want to be fearful. You don't want fear to run your life on any front. Release the life that kept you on the edge. That's releasing the old fears. That's letting go of what kept you on the edge, what caused you to show up every day just to get paid so you could pay your bills, then come home and eat something really fast and then conk out watching TV, get back up the next day and repeat, rinse and repeat like a rat in the cage, right? On that wheel. This is a game changer, you guys. It doesn't matter why it's happening. It doesn't matter how long it's happening. The fact that it's happening is no accident. It's your time to shine. It's your time to take a look at what happened in your life up to this point and go, oh, I have a choice. I don't need to live like that. That's what you need to be noticing right now. So Ray, what do you have there?
Well, let's see. I made a few notes, things I thought people would be thinking about this time. How long have we been in self-isolation now, or sheltering in place?
Probably a couple weeks, 2-3 weeks,
Yeah,
something like that.
so people they're over the initial shock of
Believing it.
how different it is.
Right. That it doesn't matter why it's happening or who did this to us or any of that kind of stuff. What we are talking about is we're talking about the ultimate effect it has on you, the high road.
Okay, so people have had enough time now to discover some of the things they really like about working from home. And probably they've discovered a few things that they're avoiding now that they really hated before, about like driving to work, getting stuck in traffic, spending all that money on gas, hour here to hour work, hour home. Yeah. That's 2 hours out of your day.
Right there.
That's 10 hours a week.
Not to mention the cost, the wear and tear on your vehicle, the gas you had to buy to get back and forth. The Starbucks stop you made $5 a day.
Oh yeah, at least.
That it all adds up, you guys.
Yeah, $5 a day. Okay, that's $25 a week, plus 10 hours you save. I think people should make a list of all the things that.
Make a list of your pros and your cons.
Right.
That's what where he's gonna take you here.
And all the pros, on the pro side, it should be a lot of things that you didn't like about the old job that you don't have to do anymore because you're working from home. I mean, clothes, you could work in your sweats.
That's right. That's right. You can wear the same clothes for days on end.
You can wear your daytime sweats, and then about 8 or 9 o'clock at night, get into your sleepy time sweats.
Yeah, if you miss a shower, no one's offended by you. It's really true, though.
Okay, so why is it that people, when you talk to people, they go, "Well, I can't wait till this is over." They go, "Oh, I can't wait till things get back to normal." Really?
They're not going to go back. Whatever you thought was normal before is changed. Because even if you don't change, what the normal used to be, your boss, the company you work for, they're going to realize that there's benefits to you guys not having to show up, and they don't have to house you every day somewhere in an office. They don't have to provide parking for you that costs them money. Okay, there's all kinds of benefits on both sides of this deal.
Yeah, I think if you were truthful when you made that list of the pros and cons of working from home and all that stuff that you used to have to do to get to your job, and all the money you're saving now and the time you're saving now,
and the preparation you had to go through.
And okay, so it kind of boils down to stress. You get up in the morning and you make some coffee, and you
run out
the door, stop at Starbucks on the way in, spend your money, rush, get stuck in traffic. It's all very, and then you get to work and you're frazzled.
And I want to say something. That Starbucks stop that you make, where the line's 20 people deep or maybe more, that you used to do, that you spent that money every day. You know why you did that? It was, if you were to take yourself as a child and make yourself a little kid, you'd be standing in the ice cream truck line waiting for your ice cream. Okay, it's a reward. It's a way to make you feel better about putting up with this.
Having to go to work.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise you're not jonesing for a Starbucks. Okay, you're just not. You're at home. In fact, what you got to do is get that extra hour sleep that you desperately needed. Okay, maybe you got to stay up a little bit later at night to watch your favorite show that really calmed you down. Okay, that's all important, you guys. The downtime that you have been missing will make a huge difference going forward. Having control over your time and how you work.
I mean, once you decide that you can do without all those things, it causes you a lot of stress, especially the traffic and traveling. I mean, that drive you crazy.
Yeah.
And how could you ever say, "Well, I can't wait for it to get back to normal"? Is that what you want?
Yeah. You're getting used to working in this new normal. Some of it is a little challenging for some of you. You've got to learn the new technology. How do you work with video conferencing? How do you function a little bit differently? You might have to upgrade a few pieces like your computer or your phone or whatever. But it's once you get over that hump where you've got these things worked out, okay, going back to that rat race and being less productive, really, you're going to be more productive working from home. Who do we have with us tonight, Ray?
Well, we have Cindy Holt over here.
Great,
Hi.
Cindy.
Hi, Cindy. And over here we have Veronica and Mary Elizabeth and Amal Owens, Kimberly Daniel Jager. Hi, Kimberly.
Great, you guys.
Tony Fava. Hi, Tony. And Jeannie Carroll. Hi, Jeannie.
Jeannie Carroll. Oh my God.
I used to know somebody named Jeannie Carroll.
What is that? The same Jeannie Carroll
I
from
think
Sedona?
it is.
Jeannie.
The picture's awful small here, but it kind of looks like
it. Looks like the singer.
Yes, great singer.
Great singer in Sedona, Arizona.
Yep.
Anyway, she's one of the few singers up in Sedona that if you ever go up to Sedona,
you should go listen to.
Yeah, you want to go find. You want to see where the action is, the nightlife is. That's where you'll find Jeannie Carroll.
Yep, there he is.
Okay, we're happy to have you all. So if you have, and I want to repeat myself, tonight's Linda's Weekly Guided Insights for tonight is release the life that kept you on the edge. And that's about how life has changed in just 3 weeks since we've been on a mandate where a stay-at-home mandate, okay?
We stay 6 feet away from each other.
We've been doing it for years, you guys.
It wasn't a big stretch for us to stay at home.
Not at all. But, it's something where it's different for a lot of people. Yeah.
I'll tell you what was stressful. Everything you can measure about that you don't have to put up with now, you can measure in stress. What was stressful for us was when we went to Costco, last week?
I know.
It was, you could feel the stress in the air. You could cut it with a knife.
Yeah.
And
everybody was scared.
They were
scared. And when Ray and I, the work we do, doing this work with you guys, we're really hypersensitive to feeling people's energy. And I mean, it was sad. I guess that's the best way to describe it.
Nobody was talking to anybody. Everybody was looking down.
I know, and hiding out.
And hiding.
That's
right. If I had to put one word there, they were kind of hiding.
People are still getting used to what this is and how far they have to go one way or the other. All right. That's what this is. Now, I wanted to say, if you have any questions or comments, if you guys have any feedback about what's going on in your community, you want to share that, do that, take advantage of that by sharing that with us now. If you write it into the feed, Ray will see it and he'll read it out loud. And if you have a question for your guides about this thing about staying in place and this self-isolation, we're going to get into this deeper as we move into the insights moving forward. The guides want to really talk to you guys about using this to your best advantage. All right. So it's nothing to be afraid of. This is really to your benefit. It's been a long time coming, and it took something like this for it to even be possible. So please leave your questions. And if you have something that you want your guides to ask your guides about, that's why we're here with you tonight. All right.
Yeah, I think that, like we said, it was people's first experience of being alone. A lot of them.
Yeah.
Because they enjoy, a lot of people enjoy the camaraderie of co-workers and standing around the water cooler and gossiping.
Or going out. Going out.
A happy hour.
Going to see Jeannie Carroll.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I mean,
happy hour.
What the heck happened to that? Okay. So, we're gonna find out how this is really supposed to flesh out and when it's gonna make some sense. But I will tell you this, what the guides have been talking to coaching clients that I've had, that private coaching clients where I have, where I spend an hour with the client. The guys have been coming through and saying this stay in place, this self-isolation is going to go on longer than you'd like it to. Many people would like to think, boy, by the end of the month, this could be over. And it won't be. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you have questions about this, ask your questions. This is your prime time right now. We're on for another 40 minutes. So ask your question while we have you here. All right.
Okay. And Linda Schwartz is with us too.
Okay.
Okay. It gave people, I think for the first time in their work life, a choice.
That's right.
I think you're going to find a lot of people who like working at home so much that they're not going to want to go back to work. They will find a job where they can work remotely if their company won't let them stay at home. I mean, I started working from home when I was 40 years old. I had corporate jobs before that. They were stressful.
I know. A lot of flying.
Oh.
Ray, do we have any questions at all?
No, let's see. Linda thinks it's going to last till or through June and July. What have we got?
Well, let's let the guides talk. This kind of thing, it's got an ebb and flow to it. It changes all the time, timelines and stuff. So let's see what the guides have to say about that, Linda.
It has a lot to do with how long can the economy stay repressed. It will be different in different countries, maybe even in different parts of the same country, but all of a sudden you'll hear on the news that we've gone past the bell curve and we're on the side where everything is winding down concerning the spread of the virus. While that may or may not be true, you should interpret that as the economy can't stand to be shut down any longer.
Okay, so what you meant by that may or may not be true, does that mean that by having the economy becoming the more urgent than the coronavirus, that people are ordered back to work, so to speak? I'm talking to the guides as I'm asking this question, and ordered back to work, that the virus would begin to become a problem again?
No, we don't see that recurring. First of all, with so many people getting infected now, it's a known fact that people who have had it won't get reinfected.
Yeah, but I'm talking about, will the virus have a new life? A new life if people go to work prematurely?
No.
That's good to know. Okay, that's good to know. So what did they say about the timeline? I know that's what Linda said.
Oh, different countries.
Okay, but what about America?
The president has a more sped up timeline than a lot of the medical people have. He will push to get the country back on its feet.
When?
By mid to late May.
And when will it become safe, actually safe for people to go out? I'm not talking about when the president orders people back to work. I mean, when is it going to be safe for people to be out in public again?
It will be a gradual comeback. Like, you won't see huge gatherings of people right away. You'll be limited to the number of people gathering in one place.
For how long will that be?
Until it's seen that nobody is getting sick.
Well, that makes sense. That totally I think that's responsible. That makes sense. Do we have any questions over there, Ray? Yeah.
Let's see, over here. Nope, over here. You join us. Larry Sedona. Larry Sedona Robertson. Is that your real middle name, Larry? I'd like to see your birth certificate.
Is that Larry Rosenberg?
Larry Sedona Robertson.
Okay, great. You guys from Sedona. Do you miss me? You know, I lived in Sedona for 27 years. And after writing Guided, my flagship book, I wound up doing traveling, you know, and speaking and stuff. So I had to be near the airport down here in Phoenix. So Ray and I moved to Phoenix, and it turned out to be a good move for us to do that. All right. But we still think about you guys. We haven't been back.
Really, I know.
But we think about you guys, and we know that you're there, and we appreciate your support. All right. Okay. So no other questions right now from these guys? Right?
No, I think people are going to get a good look at just how repressive their old life was. The choices they made, the things they put up with.
I know.
this is the first time a lot of people have had any time to relax.
Something,
sleep in.
I want to say something. I'm going to share something with you guys. Ray and I've been really busy, back-to-back coaching sessions, and doing all this work and stuff that we do online. We do it all online,
which we've done for 10 years.
Yeah, we were guided to do this project online, and that's how we built it. It turns out to be that was a good choice, But we've been working and working and working, busy, very, very busy. And yesterday, I don't know what happened, but yesterday, it was like all the busyness just went.
It just stopped.
It was like a reprieve. It was like, wow. And we even went to bed earlier last night.
I know.
Tired, but really got some awesome rest. We are beginning to feel what you guys must be feeling. Like, wow, this is okay. This is pretty good. Now,
it was so odd that we thought something was wrong.
We did. I mean, it was the strangest thing. The emails were down, way down.
Normally on Monday, you got a pile of emails. There's a couple of hundred emails waiting for us when we wake up.
Right. And the demand on the website and the social sites was very, very quiet. It was like, wow, here's what we were hoping, that everybody else, the feeling we got is everybody took that breath yesterday. Everybody got a real feel for what it feels like to not be pushed around, have to be there, have to go there, have to do this, have to do that, and all this adjusting, but not having life chase you around, not being on that wheel where you're running all the time and you just keep repeating the same thing every day, every week, every year. And you want it to stop. You want your life to start making sense. It felt like yesterday might have been that day for everybody, for most people, Did you guys feel that? Did any of you respond to us?
Did yesterday feel different?
Yeah, did it feel so different to you guys? Like what we're talking about here? Give us some feedback. Come on, you guys.
And Kirk joined us. Kirk, your question, I see it there. If you watch the replay, we just answered that question.
What was it?
About how long it's going to last.
Oh, yeah. They just covered it. Kirk, you showed up late. Okay. But it happened about, 5 minutes ago?
Yeah. Watch the timeline, and it'll be up soon.
Yeah, right after we're done.
After we're done.
Yeah, after we're done tonight. It was about 6:15 or 15 minutes into 15 minutes into it, or 20. Yeah.
One thing that I've noticed a few times that we've gone out, and we only go out to grocery shop once in a while, until I finally found hey, they'll bring it to your house. Wow, now that's cool.
We've been having everything delivered, right?
Right.
It's been helping us because we've been busy, all right?
Or one of our neighbors calls us from Fry's. He goes, "Hey, I'm at Fry's. You need anything?" I go,
yeah. We give him a grocery list.
Yeah, we give him a whole list. Yes, he brought three bags of stuff. I'm glad. I don't think he's going to ask us anymore. Let us know.
I want to say this one thing to you guys. I want you guys to think about and consider the time that you have back. You've got that hour a day, that extra couple hours a day, that besides the way that you're working now, all right, or if you're working the way you're doing your life differently, that you guys start an exercise routine, okay? Start doing that. I mean, I got to tell you, here I am. This is my desk. This is where I work from, right here in the studio. And over there, I have my entire workout, my ball, my trampoline, my weights, my stretching, my resistant tools I use. And I mean, I probably work out an hour and a half a day.
Every day.
Yeah, about an hour and a half a day. And I do it in between catching my email, talking to my fan base, doing my writing, handling my social media. Like Ray handles a certain part of it and I handle another part of it. Okay, so between all that kind of work that you find yourself doing, fit in an exercise routine. Fit it in. And you know what? You won't be as hungry. You'll be drinking more water. All the things that you need to do that you should be doing. And you won't feel so like low. You'll feel up, okay? And you'll feel better, and you'll be stronger. The thing I'm trying to say here, this so far, what we've been catching on this coronavirus attacks people largely that have weak immune systems
to begin with.
Yeah. So how do you build your immune system? How should you have been taking better care of yourself anyway? But you didn't have time. You were busy chasing your life, all right? Or it chasing you, always getting pushed around and having to do this and didn't have enough time to do that, and too tired when you got home. Okay. Find a way to start. Here's what to do. Start stretching. Okay, just start doing things, even if you just take and you just go like this, and you just stretch your arms, and you stretch your arms, and you do things that you stretch your whole body. All right, you start stretching. You're not going to believe how sore you will get just from stretching. All right, start doing that, stretching, and then one thing leads to another. Start using weight resistance and stuff like that. Fit in some of the things that where you've been neglecting yourself, you guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Eating at home. When you're eating at home, you are eating better food, and you're not eating as much. When you go out to eat, they feed you all this food. It's like, oh
and
my
it's bad
God.
Food.
And it's not organic.
And it's expensive.
And you got to wait. So you're wasting more time. You could be getting a little workout in if you were making your own food. While you were doing that, you could get 5 minutes in. It adds up, you guys.
Yeah, plus you have to pay a tip and a tax, and
it's expensive.
It is very expensive.
And it's not, those people that make your food are not making it with love. Like, the food is energy. So you're making it with that care and that love and that attention. And that there's so many little things that once you start moving into this, that you start implementing. Get that extra hour sleep you need, because you need it. And when you put all this together, you've got a better immune system. Now, when you go back out into the world, your immune system is stronger. You feel better. Your emotional energy is higher. You feel good, all right?
Yeah, and you get a chance to practice your cooking skills.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
People, half the people might come out of this pandemic chefs,
One thing they said I saw some things on Facebook, they said, this was Peggy before the coronavirus, and this was Peggy after the corona. And here's Peggy, nice and trim and slim. And then after the coronavirus, here she is, like 20 pounds heavier.
Yeah,
so that's when you don't have a plan. That only happens when you don't have a plan. Okay. When you take and utilize the time that you've got back in the right way, you're going to be way better off
cooking
from
your own
this.
food. Yeah, but it is a good idea to make sure you can get into your jeans about every 2 or 3 days. Still get into those.
If you're letting that happen in the first place, you guys, then you're not using your time well. All right. You're not taking the benefits of this. You're not seeing them. Okay. So
a lot of people are still trying to eat the same food they ate from their favorite restaurants, but now they're just having it delivered.
Okay. So another thing about feeling better and getting your immune system back, getting that extra hour sleep that you need, just 1 hour more that you need, that you have not been getting. Do you know that that's the best way to lose weight?
Yep.
Is getting extra sleep. Who would have ever thought that?
Plus, a lot of people now have time to get outside and get some sunshine.
Yeah, you can walk around. I mean,
you can go to the park.
Right. Or you could, yes, there's all kinds of things that you can just get out and do and settle down. And really calm your energy down. And your priorities. I want to say something here. Release the life that kept you on the edge. Part of that was spending needlessly. Spending money where you didn't need to spend it. It was a way of that you took care of yourself, a way that you felt better when you went out and bought that jewelry, when you bought bought the extra clothes, the more shoes that you didn't even have room for. Okay. Stuff. buying stuff. Okay, so don't find yourself on the computer in front of the internet buying all this stuff because you can't go to the stores, right? So you'll feel better. It won't make you feel better when you get the bills. This thing about release the life that kept you on the edge is about really clearing this out so you're not on the same wheel of repeating the same things that got you in the mess that you got in before. All right, go ahead, Ray.
You're getting some love. You're getting some love over here,
You
huh?
guys, and you know, I want to say, when I wrote Guided, people read Guided or listened to Guided, they really got a lot out of it. It speaks to you, okay? It's about my life, but it's really about you, is what this is about. And from writing Guided came the companion journal to Guided, My Guided Journey. You can get this on Amazon. It's only in paperback because it is a journal. Or you can get this on my website. And on my website, it's $10. On Amazon, it's 15 by the time they mail it to you, right?
Right.
Okay. But you get this on my website. You could print the pages that you need repeatedly and never have to buy the book again.
There
Okay.
you go.
Because it's a journal, of course, you're going to go through those pages, right? But in part 3, what you want to do as you're to take full advantage of this downtime, okay, is write in your journal in part 3 for 15 minutes a day about what's unusual or out of the ordinary that you're beginning to notice.
Right. Okay. Nancy Schaefer said she's felt really relieved since the beginning of this started and enjoying going through all of her lifetime of photographs.
Wow.
That she never had time to do before. Yeah.
Right. So she's what she's doing is she's taking a look back through her life, like a life review. Okay. That's what Nancy's doing. And what is Nancy getting out of that? If I was to ask you, Nancy, what you're getting out of it, you probably really couldn't identify what it is yet because it's still working itself out. But there's something that's going to come from that. Taking that time, having that time back.
Mary Elizabeth's got a question. She said she had a thought today when she was running. Will the pandemic eventually bring us all closer together globally?
That's a great question. What a great question that is. That's a loving question for all of humanity. I love your question, Mary Elizabeth. And here they go.
You will all come together globally once there are no more wars. It's the wars and the pitting of people against each other that keeps the world from evolving. The entire world is now doing the same thing. They are on lockdown everywhere. It's giving people time to reflect and consider how they've lived their lives in the past. It's all going to be better once people stop living in fear of each other and begin to realize that they have new choices.
When's that going to happen? The timeline on this?
It won't happen all at once. It's going to be a rollout of new ideas and new practices that will help take the stress off of all people. It will feel like a great gift was given to you something you never expected in your lifetime, along with the raising of consciousness around the world. There will be a sigh of relief as people open their hearts.
And this gift, where's it going to come from?
A new way of governing the world.
This they could go on and on and on about telling you what these things are. And they do that in our webinars. We do these webinars once a month now. We've been guided to do that. That's what the guides want, so that you guys can get through this. So we're going to be putting on our next webinar the end of the month. We'll give you a heads up on that.
And the first one we did on April,
it was on
April 4th?
March 28th.
March 28th.
It was the change you feared is here, but not to be feared. That's what we're in right now. That's what we're moving through right now. The next one is going to be, what was it, Ray? I wrote it down today.
Staying on the path.
Stay on the path. How you go about staying on the path without swinging too far one way or the other. Stay on the path. Don't lose your focus. Stay steady. That's what the next webinar is going to be about. We'll be announcing it next week. I just got it from the guides this morning. Yeah. I don't come up with these, you guys. The guides come through and they let me know, just like they did with the one in March about the change you feared is here, but not to be feared. Okay. They come through and let me know.
A lot of the problems in the world with this evolution, let's call it evolution.
That's what the guys call it.
They call it, people call it an awakening, raising of consciousness.
Right.
Whatever you call it.
Right.
It's the same thing. A lot of the problems that we've had all of our lives, really, that we've never seen the end of them, are going to kind of solve themselves overnight.
That's exactly what they talked about, that these things are solving themselves. All right. So many things. In fact, they talked a lot about that in the webinar that I mentioned. And you can get the replay of that webinar. I'm going to read where at the end of this tonight, how you can get it. You'll see it in the description of the video, actually. You'll see that webinar from March 28th. You can just click on that link that's there. It'll take you right to the page where you can purchase it. It's $29. It was 1 hour long, and it was intense.
Yeah, we got a lot of great feedback from all around the world.
Yeah.
So and it's interesting you get the feedback from around the world. I mean,
everybody's perspective, like what's going on in Italy, what's going on
the Netherlands,
in the Netherlands,
in the UK,
in Australia. We have them from all over the world.
Yeah, you've got coaching clients now in 17 countries.
Yeah. So it's everybody, you guys. This is global. This is all of humanity growing through this at the same time with the same intensity. That's got to be powerful. Okay, that is powerful. That's where we're at. Humanity is going to take a leap because of this. This is a good thing. This is not a bad thing.
And I think if you try to make sense of what you hear and see on the news, you'll never get the sense of how much it's going to change.
You don't get the real what's going on in the news or any of that. It's just the perspective from this world. And if you think you're just in this world and this world is all there is, you're going to have fear. You're going to be terrified. No doubt about it. But when you realize that you are connected from where you came from before you were born, where you came from, the guidance that followed you here, that this becomes the support for this. This, for many people, retreated long ago because this was so harsh, this world. This was too much, okay? It caused you to react in all kinds of ways. Fears took over, all right? That's when you're just in this world. But now that this has calmed down, this part of you that retreated, it didn't go anywhere, it just retreated, is beginning to come back so that this can support this and not dominate it, okay? That's what we're going to learn. We're going to learn how to be in this world with ourselves and with each other in a much better way, okay? It's way overdue, you guys. I know you've all been in pain from the world that we've lived in. It's been a hard place to be. It's evolving now. That's what the guides have said many, many times. It's like we are now on the right track instead of this wheel that's just from this life, from this world that's so demanding and so dominant and so one-sided, okay? That's what's changing now. Okay.
Yeah, just changing the way things have been for decades.
Oh.
I mean, the fossil fuels and, we have more food in this world than you can imagine, but half the world's starving.
I mean, something's wrong there. I mean, there's a lot of corrections going on right now. Some that are way overdue, that have nothing to do with you, that have been the powers that be, that are beginning to get pressure on them. Okay, it's going to work itself out. Don't worry about it. It's already working itself out. While you sit back and you gather yourself back up and you get healthy again. You take this time to get your head back, yourself back, your heart back, your soul back, yourself back, okay, in balance. So you can be present, so you can hear the guidance, just like I do every day. You can hear the guidance. My life is not a train wreck. It's not a rat race. It's not crazy. It's calm. I can hear them. You can't hear them when the TV's screaming at you, when the boss is shouting at you, when you're threatened at work, when you're fighting to get there and back in the traffic with all these hostile people. You can't do that. Okay, now you finally can. All right, you guys, use this right. And when I say in my guided journey, I really need to tell you again to write in part 3. That's the day-to-day journal writing for just 15 minutes a day. This is a guided journal writing system where there's 4 qualifying questions that you're asked every time you sit down and you spend that 15 minutes writing. Okay, go ahead, Rick.
Okay, Nancy answered your question. She said, she loved the webinar.
Great, Nancy.
And she's getting a real appreciation for who I am from all that she went through in her life and experience by going back through her photos.
That's true. Oh God, that's true.
Yeah, you remember things that you did.
And each one of you are unique. Nancy, it's Nancy, right?
Right, Nancy Schaefer.
Nancy, going back to those photos for Nancy was really excellent. And believe it or not, Nancy, you were guided to do that at that time. Now that you have time. All right. You were guided to do that. Everybody's different. For somebody else, it might be just writing, okay? Or it might just be reading some books and
reading guided again.
Yeah, listening to guided.
Speaking of reading guided again, Saturday.
Yeah.
You're going to do your second live reading.
Yeah, I'm going to be reading chapter 2 of Guided at 1 p.m. Pacific time, just like we are right now, on my Facebook page, on my Facebook timeline, and on my YouTube channel. You'll be able to view it from any one of those places. So do join me.
Get a cup of coffee, make yourself a cup of tea or coffee and curl up. And
they're about a half hour long.
Listen to the little girl who lived the story, read it. Okay, so Kirk McKay is with us, Captain Kirk.
Yep.
He said they're not the powers that be, they're the powers that shouldn't be.
That's true. Okay, so come back. Come over here. So what do you have to say to Kurt? We love having you, Kirk, and here they go.
You understand what's going on under the surface. There are very few people relatively that control everything that goes on this planet. When you think there's 7.5 billion people on the planet that are controlled by a very few, it's a sad example of people not realizing how powerful they are. And
you mean the guys are saying how powerful you are.
Right. And that they could easily take back their power. And that's what these few fear.
And they should. Okay, I'm going to say this. This is the perfect time to do that. Part 2 of My Guided Journey takes you back to your early life to heal your past, where you were programmed to just comply, okay? And you lost yourself. That's when you were a little kid and this world crashed in on your true self, and your true self retreated. It got scared. It retreated, okay? Because this was so harsh. I mean, now you guys, just an example. People send their kids to school. They have them in a preschool at 1.5 years old.
Oh yeah.
Okay, at 1.5 years old. Okay, are you freaking kidding me? This is a child. Leave this child alone. Who is this person that you just brought in the world a year and a half ago that you're trying to mold and force and oh my God. No wonder people are so, this book, part 2, will take you back to your early life, remind you who you are and how you got off track, how this world caused you to doubt yourself, how this world just spewed fear all over you. If you don't do this, that'll happen. If you don't do that, that's going to happen. What about this? And all this hype, this excessiveness, this insanity, okay? Part 2 walks you back through your life. By the way, this is going to be part of what I do in the webinar, where you guys I'm going to work with you in this journal. It's going to teach you how to go back there and find that, okay? And heal it. You cannot move forward until you heal what hurt you in the past, because it's like dragging a leg. You're here, you're walking along, but you could be doing so much better than you are. All right.
Okay.
What do we have, Ray?
Who else joined us here? Janice Apparet. Hi, Janice. She's fairly new.
Great, Janice.
Glad you could join us.
And there was a lot that happened tonight on this event, that if any of you came in late, watch the beginning of this, because the guides had a lot to say tonight. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think people, once they see, like the guys talked about, very few people control 7.5 billion people through fear and through pitting us against each other. It's
been going on forever.
Right.
Okay. And if you look at sports, look how sports came to a crash, a complete stop. Okay. Now people can look at sports and go, what was that? Okay. Here's what that was. I'm just going to give you guys another look at it. I don't care if you like sports or you don't like sports. The setup was there. It was designed to pit people against each other. My team's better than your team. It was that's all just building on that crescendo of competition. Okay. And
separateness.
And separateness, right. And dominance. Okay. my people are stronger than yours. Okay, really?
I mean,
And sports have become insanely popular. And really, translation, what it's really vibrating, what it's showing us is it has this pitting against each other. This, my team's better than your team, my guys are better than your team, and they fight with each other in these stadiums. That, look how disturbing that is. Okay, it gives us a chance to see it and go, oh man, I was there, I did that, I went down that road, I was crazy, like most of the people that went into it. I was one of them. So you start to see what was pushing you and driving you and in control of you. That's what this is about. You guys need to recognize this world and where it's controlled you in a harmful way against each other. Even though we've been in the world, we haven't really been connected, you guys. We haven't cared about each other like we need to. Not really. It's gotten more and more dysfunctional and broken.
It needed to break.
This needed to happen so we could finally look at this thing and go, oh, no sports. Well, now what do I do? You just start to see things differently. Like Mary Schaefer started looking through her photographs from Nancy Schaefer, looking at the photographs from before, okay, and realizing herself, seeing what's happened since then and who she is, all right, and just exactly how she matters. Maybe she found out that some of the people from her past weren't so good to her, and some of them were amazing, okay, that she really never thought about until she took that gander through, all right? So this is an awesome time. You guys just need to, I want you to realize you need to use this time to the highest and best use you can. Get yourself back. Treat yourself better. One thing the guides keep saying is this whole thing's going to start getting better when you learn to love yourself more. They keep saying that, okay? And when you work out and you take care of yourself, you're loving yourself more. When you get your groceries and you make your own food, that food's made with love. You are loving yourself more. When you get that extra hour of sleep every day, wow, that is so kind. You are loving yourself more. That's what this is about. We're moving back into it, you guys. And my guided journey, if you've read Guided, you pretty much have to understand what Guided's about. And then you take this journey. And by the way, in part 2, chapter 1 through 18, the journey back to heal your past, there's a video that Ray and I did on every single chapter so that you guys get in the right mindset when you start to take and write in each part of part 2, the 18 chapters, and get the right mindset before you start writing. Because this isn't about you being a victim. This is about you being in your power. You came here in your power. It's reclaiming that. Okay, Ray. Okay, you guys, it's going to get better. It's getting better already. You're getting better. It's going to get better when you get better.
Right. Life gets better for you when you get better.
Yeah, and that's what's happening here. You have been given your life back so you can get better. Okay. And if you're not getting Linda's weekly guided insights, sign up for them. You go to my website, lindadeer.com. That's what this has been about tonight, Linda's weekly guided insights, about release the life that kept you on the edge. Okay, each week it's a different insight that the guides talk about, and it's about the guides navigate you through the uncertain world that you are now living in, okay? That's what this is all about. And they speak to you on Tuesday nights with us right here. Okay, Ray. So next Tuesday, April 14th, join me. I will be live streaming on my Facebook page, my Facebook timeline, and my YouTube channel. Use the search term Linda Deer, and this will be a Q&A and commentary. Next Tuesday's insight published in Linda's Weekly Guided Insights with me and my spirit guides at 6 p.m. Pacific time, so don't miss it. In Linda's Weekly Guided Insights, my spirit guides will be talking about The shock of experiencing the present moment. They're going to get into what this really is, okay? So you guys don't miss it. This coronavirus and the resulting forced isolation and stay-at-home may be the first time people were forced into the present moment. You have found yourself out of sync with the present moment. You can now see what you allowed to distract you and run your life only by stepping out of it and seeing it. With all those distractions taken away, do you feel that you lost something so necessary for being here? Some of you might miss those distractions because they filled up a lot of void, a lot of time, okay, that you didn't have to think about taking care of yourself. You didn't have to think about getting the extra hours sleep you need, the workout, the exercise you deserve, okay? All the things that you deserve, you guys, that's really about taking care of yourself in the right way. So to start getting my insights delivered to you every Tuesday morning, go to my website. You'll see it right at the top. What are Linda's Weekly Guided Insights, okay? Been doing the insights now since 2014, even 6 months before Guided was even published. Okay, so look for the link in the description of this video to get the replay of my webinar that we talked about earlier. That was held on Saturday, March 28th, about what my guides said about the change that you feared is here, but not to be feared. In this webinar, my spirit guides inform you of the changes to come that you must not fear. You will hear about the needed course corrections you must make that will become your new normal. Hallelujah. And we're going to be putting on another webinar at the end of this month, and we're going to let you guys know about that. We'll give you a heads up on that next week. Now the guides, anytime you want to bring your guides through, you want to hear what they're saying. Now that you've got your life back, you've got some time back, you can breathe. So important. Every time when you breathe, your guides are now able to reach you. They're always here. We're the ones that break that connection by holding our breath and worrying about the future or the past or, okay. So remember to breathe, okay? And the guides are going to close this session tonight on release the life that kept you on the edge.
The life you used to have will change forever. It's about healing the past and healing the world. The world will heal itself when people lose their need to be right all the time. Open your mind, open your hearts, and heal the world.
We're at a tipping point, a pinnacle, a crescendo. We are at that point that we all imagined. We've heard songs about it forever. Imagine. We're at that point, you guys. We're on that merry-go-round ride. It's speeding up, and it's going to be the ride of our lives, okay? Let's do this together. We'll see you guys next week. And this Saturday.
At 1 p.m.
Pacific time, right here.